Black is back. Hello from the hole. This time going, feeling as though the copes aren't enough. Trying to stay positive in a world that is so negative that I'm positive that the fact that it is negative. Of course, that's an understatement, not an overstatement. After all, there's no telling how many decent people fall into the wayside because of all the idealism of mankind. Animals having to eat each other in order to survive. They must survive to continue the system when we're all eventually going to die anyway. There's plenty of other things to make do with. The dinosaurs, if they even existed, some people have their doubts. They would, a lot of them would be herbivores and they did just fine. But then again, there were carnivores. Even then, the stuff about evolving, oh sure, everything is evolving. Whether it be religiously or just physically or whatever, just still it's all about man-made creation. But it's trying to control other people. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This is a reality that just continues to thrive over the fact that there's a small percentage that manage to outwit, or should I say just simply rule over the majority. The minority is rolling over the majority because everything is just flip-flopped and backwards and reversed. In this universe, there are many solar systems. Every star you see, it's like, even though we do have the here and now, the speed of light, you look up in the sky and you see the stars, and you're basically looking, quote unquote, back in time. Those stars might even be dead by now. They're black dwarfs, white dwarfs. They formed in a nova, which is just, where does the nova come from? Just like anything, it's just I am that I am, right? You look at the stars and it's like, you're basically looking, it's like a sun, just like our solar system. And then many solar systems, right? Therefore, those solar systems are all parts of galaxies, and those galaxies are all parts of superclusters and whatnot, and that's all part of it's just the observable universe. Who knows, there might be other ones, because the universe looks so vast to us. I've heard it said that it's just the in part, the outer part of the consciousness. Is just I am consciousness is at the, source consciousness, God, whatever. Is at the center of this, and we're all just extensions, and we're all in the dense outer part, slowed down. We're basically in the hell realm, where we gotta learn through suffering, basically, and learn to love, which is just, the opposite of love is fear. I heard someone say the other day that it's actually just not giving a fuck. But, it's not hate, because you can love to hate something. You can love and hate it at the same time. That's easy. I love to hate something, right? But I love to fucking hate this world. But back to the topic. It really does seem to me like every time, just getting back to what I was saying about the galaxies and everything, just there could be many galaxies, there could be many clusters, there could be many parts of the physical realm. These you bringing babies into it. That's why babies cry when they're born. He's like, fucking, it's not the cold air because they don't get to kick anything, or because I think it's because they're getting a fucking premonition. I know. It's like, oh, fuck, I'm in hell. It's just like, as the observable universe. Anyway, back to the fucking, I can't remember the last time that I had something that was really nice in my life and it fucking didn't just disappear eventually. It's just fucking all this other content I hear on here about how this is hell. Because everything points to this being hell. This world is just, it's all about just overcoming things and just going through fucking bullshit, and just coping in any way you can. You brought here and now you gotta deal with it. You don't want to kill yourself because that's too easy, right? Or no, it's too painful. Which I don't recommend it. There's just so many ways for us to thrive without having to enslave each other. There's so many ways for us to thrive without enslaving each other, guys. This realm is all about just finding ways to survive. When it could be easier. It's just, you do something wrong, you lose your temper, you lose your cool, or you whatever, just because everybody has a breaking point, right? And people just never forgive you. And just, what is to forgive? To overlook. Nobody ever overlooks it. It's like, oh, they have it on your record. Oh, you got evicted. Oh, you got fired. Oh, you just had an argument. It's so tense. How many of you guys have it tense around your family house or whatever? If so many people are living with their families, everything's so high and everything. I mean, fuck. And it's like you're just an old, grown-ass person, right? Man or woman, it doesn't matter, with still consciousness. I mean, it's all about reproducing all that vibe stuff, the lovey-dovey that they have in the media and whatever. That's why the only thing I ever fucking really do anymore is YouTube and having a drink and taking a walk and taking a bath and going to hotels if I can fucking afford it, which at the moment I can. I'm sing tomorrow, hopefully they'll give you that. As soon as I get something, I'll try to I'll make a little short about it, like Black Hole's hired. It hadn't happened yet, guys. I'm still just as unemployed as fucking ever, and even everything's just the wages go up with the fucking goddamn prices and everything. It's pathetic, but how many of you guys are having fucking issues with your family where it's just all tense and everything, and then when it's like otherwise they're all just treating you like you're five and getting all uppity with you, and then you're like, yeah, whatever, just I'm glad that you're in a good mood today, that kind of thing. A lot of people are having to live with their parents almost as if they were still like a little kid. I had this room I moved out of like 10 years ago, and then my mother had it, and then she passed away because the doctors would never help her, and it's just with medical stuff, the insurance, unless you have it, they won't help you. People burn down the house and all that crap that happened earlier in the year with Los Angeles fires. You gotta be so careful with every move you make in life. Anything you do can cause problems. Everybody thinks different. Everybody just set up for you to fail. Everybody's just waiting for you to screw up so they can get mad at you, right? The police always going after the real. They never go after the real bad guys. They go after the people like us or whatever it is, just trying to live, because we just want to be left alone. Anyway, what was I saying? I moved out of what used to be my room, and then my mother had it, and she passed away, and then now there's just nobody in it. And what used to be my father's office, he had the bedroom shut for like a whole year, and he finally managed to go back in it again. You know how it is with people when people pass away. Anybody out there, anybody close to him has passed away. I'm sorry. Hopefully they're in a better place, But, he went back into the bedroom, and then what used to be his office became my bedroom, and I've just has a nice green light from out the window or whatever. It's almost like a hotel. I had an apartment that was 2 stories off the ground. I'd like to move back out there again because it really wasn't that expensive. Parents think like, oh, it's a dump. Because nobody was ever in there but me. Fucking, even people came in to spray for bugs, and even they didn't complain about it. I just want a place that's livable, what I'm used to, and something that's cheap. I paid like $725 when I moved out. When I moved in, it was like $425. When I moved out, it was $725. And that's with inflation and everything. Excuse me. So yeah, it's just, I'd like to move back out there. And just you leave in the middle of the lease, they probably get on your case about it. And that's another thing, guys. It's just people get away with stuff all the time, but it's always the little guys that usually get burned more than anything. And it's just all these millionaires and billionaires. They could help, and they just don't. It just pisses you off. But you got to ignore it. You can only ignore it, guys. You can only ignore it for so long. Everybody has a breaking point. You get to that point where you're like, enough is enough, and you just do something stupid, and then you end up having to pay for it. It just follows you for the rest of your life. They find you with a beer can in your open beer can in your car, and you got a DUI, driving under the influence. Now you gotta go to jail. You lose your job. It's on your record forever. It's just you have some drunk driver that's out and they crash into you, and they got car problems. You gotta pay all that. You got everything is just. But you got to be positive. Okay, you'll still be positive, and eventually everything usually falls apart. It's like a game of luck. Luck is just chance or causality. All this stuff about causality and everything. Well, that's kind of a thing of, things happen, sure, but you can influence it, and it's not the end of the world. It's like, I believe we exist beyond this life. Conscious beings. This life is temporary. I mean, I also, it's like, I guess I just would have to say believe, because I've never had one of those out-of-body experiences for myself. I believe we do leave our bodies every night when we go to sleep, and that's another realm. But, when we pass away, when we die, when our consciousness leaves or exits this physical realm, whatever you want to call it, we go to a realm where everything's based off of emotion and thought, and, anything that you want can manifest for you, just like a movie. Nothing is ever lost, other than acoustic records and whatever, where you just, look up what any experience you've ever had or whatever. And it's just, just like you've had all these different life experiences. I encourage you guys to look online about this stuff, and a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's bull crap, black hole, and it's fine. You can believe what you want. I'm not so sure I believe it myself, guys, but. You look into Bob Monroe or go into Tom Campbell or William Bowman and all those kind of guys. It's interesting. It perks my spirits, at least. And of course, there's a Crimson Circle, Adamus. They got another show. Not this week, but the following week. They usually do it on Saturdays on the Crimson Circle website. They have a shout, and they got all this stuff you got to pay for. This Villa Omnio and the Corallo Springs or wherever it is. They got a website. It always goes into stuff about how consciousness is just, everything is ultimately consciousness and free will, like I always say, and it's just, we're just having an experience, and it's just nothing really matters, and it's all about whatever state consciousness we're in, where we do. I mean, it's like you could be a real dick, and I've even heard it said that Hitler woke up where Mother Teresa on somebody else's content, It's that hell, but it's no joke, we live in hell. And all these YouTubers, you can look into my posts, it's about halfway down in my post list, all these. Of course, I don't know where Steve Brown and Ignorance is Bliss. Of course, Pointless Rat Race has that one other video on his website that's been there for 8 months. Still no content from that dude. Man, I'm just glad he's alright. But anyway, as far as consciousness goes, it is always about the consciousness and free will, and just we die and we wake up all in some whatever level of consciousness we deserve to be at. In other words, if we're like a sadistic character like Saddam Hussein or Bin Laden or any those Hitler, those kind of they all go to a hellish place because they're hellish people, right? They do hellish things. They're assholes, right? So they're all dead now. They're all dead, yeah. So I can say this. It's not like they're all gonna fucking be, oh my God, we gotta kill Black Hole in Oklahoma City. Right? Oh, and by the way, the Thunder lost their fucking first NBA final game tonight. I'm making this video on June the 6th. Or almost June the 6th, 2025, and they just lost their first NBA final game, and that just the Pacers just one last shot. They fucking beat them at the last 0.3 of a second. Guys suck. That's the way it goes. And the couple nights before, Yankees won, so whatever. Football coming up, I guess. Well, not for a while. I mean, they have football almost all year round now. And of course, soccer, or no, not soccer, is football. Thought provoker, if you're listening, is YouTuber. It's football. Don't ever call it soccer. I mean, Americans call it soccer, but it's football. American football is what I'm talking about with the year-round stuff. But anyway. And of course, that championship is like every 4 years. Whatever. Let's get back to the topic or whatever it is. I'm just rambling on. It's just, the consciousness and the free will are the same thing. And people are always just fucking, creating whatever reality they want. And it's just, it's always about whatever reality that you intend to make is that you're going to create that. And all the other people that are similar to your state of being or your mindset or your thoughts, because it goes beyond thoughts and emotions too. Even it's just astral plane, mental plane, all these different separate bodies you're supposed to have, just one great consciousness, which is basically God or source. Or a lot of people are going to be like, no, black hole, there's a God in the sky, and we're all just damned to hell because we can never measure up to His greatness. We're all going to go to hell. Well, why do you create us? It doesn't make sense. Why do we just come and you're free to believe whatever you want. But it makes sense. The most logical thing, since God or whatever is supposed to be about logic, is everything is consciousness, and free will. And we're just bringing all these beliefs and everything on ourselves. And when we quote unquote die, we go to this place where we deserve to be, surrounded by other people that believe the same thing. And all this other stuff goes into death. All these YouTubers, they have their own separate take on how these things work, and that's fine, because that's just like I'm saying, it's whatever you believe becomes your reality, because consciousness creates reality through intent. That's what moves it. And this is interesting stuff. This is most interesting stuff in the world, and I strongly suggest you guys look into it, because it kind of explains why everything is the way it is. Because it's just, we got all these different, hell. Have you ever heard the phrase hell is other people? Hell would be a place where everybody thinks different. That's kind of where we are, in the universe. Because where to have heaven, everybody's got to think alike. But we're in a place where everybody thinks different, and it's trying to control and regulate each other through religion or just whatnot. Just trying through media and programming. So they'll just be a slave to a piece of paper from a tree that we print out every day. And the leaves, the air we breathe, we don't see the oxygen, but we breathe the oxygen. So we just go by our senses. And there's so much more to the universe besides our physical existence and our senses. And nobody remembers ever asking to be born, and yeah, sure, but we're just here, and we got to make the best of it, because generate the human consciousness in this rabbit hole matrix, trying to avoid all the hunters. And yeah, we are crawling through the hole, and we're just finding our way out, and hopefully we go back to, we go back in, or we go out to a place that we deserve to be. Because we're always going where we deserve to be in that sense. But when it comes to this realm, we are prisoners. Prison called life, born in a corrupt system. Sometimes they always put you in another cell. Life is overrated. 9-6, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I'm referring to YouTubers. That's provoke your thoughts. There you go. There's so many of them. Steve Brown's gone. I mean, all these other guys. God, there's so many of them. Anyway, don't ask me to name them all. I always think of them later. I can't think of them. Truth Tiger, there you go. That's another one. Anyway, guys, I need to be wrapping it up pretty quick here. So anyway, like I always say, hang in there, guys. It's fucking crazy out there. We're all just here for a temporary period, and we move on. We have our experiences, and hopefully it's supposed to help us come in tune, but also, it's just we're still perfect spiritual beings, and nothing can really ever damage that. And this is just like a little, just temporary show that we're having. It's just that makes it meaningless, because it's just nothing's ever lost. And we're actually perfect spiritual beings having just like as if we're having something that we're not. Just for the fun of it, because we're spiritually bored. And it's just we're not going to be here forever, guys, because, all we got is here now and what we make of it. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys again when the time is right. I don't know when I'm going to make my next content. Love you all. Peace. Let me guys know what you want me to talk about.